I'm here with Lynne, who's a presentation sister and has just participated at the National Conference of ACRATH, the Australian Catholic Religion Against Trafficking in Humans conference at Walkham Hills. Thank you, Lynne, for being with me.
That's fine, Claude.
Lynne, how long have you been with ACRATH?
I think it's about six years, but probably about 2012. Yes, I finished up a job in my congregation, and I began to look around for areas of injustice, and ACRATH was a group that I felt I could become part of. Yes.
Why would you choose ACRATH? Because a lot of people wouldn't even know about human trafficking in Australia or be aware of it.
I think from other sisters that I knew who belonged to ACRATH, and when I sat down and looked at what ACRATH was all about, it's certainly a human rights issue, and in terms of gospel values, it's about the dignity of the human person, and that everyone has the right to be able to live their life in safety and free from coercion.
And what sort of role do you have with the movement?
As my time with ACRATH has developed, I have taken on, because of my background as a teacher, I've taken on some of the educational work. When we get invited to schools, if I can go, usually with years 10 to 12, if they have a social justice day, and I am part of that day, and I'm speaking about human trafficking and what's happening in today's world, and talking about how the United Nations is very concerned about it and how it affects people's lives.
And what sort of reception do you get from teachers and students?
From teachers and students, we get a very welcoming and interested reception, because it often fits in with their RE program in terms of the dignity of the human person. And also, if years 11 and 12 are studying society and culture or legal studies, they can start to reflect on maybe getting into the human rights area of the legal profession.
And are they just for girls? Sorry, are they just for girls?
No, not necessarily. I have been invited to boys' secondary schools. Yes.
And these schools, are they the independent or Catholic ones, or are they public state schools? Both.
They are Catholic Education Office, and they are independent Catholic schools.
Do you get into the state school system at all?
No, I haven't. There could be other members of ACRATH that have, but I haven't.
So you do this educational awareness in schools. I think you mentioned you do something else for ACRATH.
Yes, I'm part of what we call a companionship program in ACRATH. ACRATH provides support and a warm presence to people who've been trafficked, and people are referred to ACRATH through the Red Cross, and they just walk with the person in their everyday lives in terms of just supporting them, helping them out with things maybe to do with their children, or just simple things like maybe going to a Centrelink office and helping them with language, with filling in forms. And sometimes it's just meeting up for coffee and just chatting about what. So I'm part of the support program that supports the companions to keep doing that job.
And where do these people come from?
The companions?
Yeah,
the companions usually are older, mature age Catholic sisters or women who have joined ACRATH for whatever reason, and are interested, and a lot of them may have a teaching background or a pastoral background, and so they are prepared to just maybe give a person an hour or so a week, just to let them know that they're not forgotten.
I can imagine a lot of these sisters who've been teaching or nursing would never have dreamed of being involved in working with people who've been trafficked.
Yes, yes. It's not something that entered our sphere of life in our early days of teaching, or nursing.
Lynne, just a little, how did you find the conference?
The conference was, I found it very helpful, particularly in terms of the information that was offered to the participants, and particularly Jennifer Burns' talk on the Modern Slavery Act in New South Wales, and how that can be enacted, or how that will be enacted, because I think there are ways that we as ACRATH can now go and talk to members of our congregations and maybe people in different parts of the country. Just it's more or less about raising awareness, I think. But I did find Jennifer's talk just very informative and helpful, good information.
Lynne, thank you very much for your time and for sharing with us your experience as a companion, an educator and member of ACRATH.
Thank you, Claude.